Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sabans. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment. And we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a hilarious show for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. And be sure to check out the DREAMERSPRO podcast that we have pinned in the comment section below. Anyway, let me get into this topic here. This is going to be a lot of fun. Why? Because the playoffs essentially begin this week. We're starting off with the play-in tournament, and then the playoffs themselves kick off on Saturday, and I just cannot wait. When I said just can't wait, I'm talking about the Western Conference matchups. I'm not really interested in any of the. I'm just keeping it funky with you guys. Ain't nothing really going on in the East. I may watch some Knicks games. To see how the Knicks are doing. But anyway, last night we finally got the seedings, and more importantly, we got the seedings for the play-in tournament. And it turns out that the Lakers are going to be playing against the New Orleans Pelicans, who currently sit at the 7th spot for the 8th spot, right? So whoever wins that game, they hold on to the 7th spot, and then whoever wins between the 9 and the 10, they play one more to decide who wins the 8th seed. So the Lakers essentially will have two opportunities to win, and the bottom teams will need 2 wins to advance. So then I saw that they're going to be facing against the Denver Nuggets. And I immediately put up the following poll about 7 hours ago on the channel, and I said, and I asked the question because 7 hours ago, and I said, should the Lakers lose on purpose to avoid the Denver Nuggets in round 1? Of the 2,000 voters, 61% of them said no. The remaining 39 said yes. Let me read some of the commentaries, some of the things that people said. Excuse me. One person said LeBron don't want none of that with Denver. LeBron avoiding competition. I'm shocked. You want to avoid a do or die game. That's not a smart move. Another person said, no matter, Lakers ain't winning the title. Let them face Denver in round 1 and have Denver put them out of their misery. Another person said, just play Denver right now before they catch a rhythm in a couple of series. And it's a sweep again if they meet in the Western Conference Finals. Another person said, the season is over for the Lakers. Memphis sat 13 players and almost beat LA. I remember that. Don't worry, the NBA officials will make sure of that scenario. And some people just cracking jokes. Let's go referees. Another person said, only avoiding the toughest matchup only helps the bench who really need those playoff checks. And people said what they had to say. But these weren't the only group of people that had this to say. This morning, I've been sitting back waiting to hear what the big boys on the bigger shows are going to be saying. And I came across a clip from Get Up with Mike Greenberg. Tim Legler was there. I forgot the other gentleman's name. And as they were talking, Mike Greenberg then brings up this very scenario where he was like, I think the Lakers should do whatever it takes to avoid Denver in round 1. And I was like, well, I cannot be the only one thinking this. But before I even get into what Mike Greenberg had to say, this video is brought to you by our sponsor, PrizePicks, which is the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. PrizePicks is really simple. Instead of just selecting a team, you just select 2 or more players, pick more or less their projected stats, and then you place your entry. For example, this week, I'm selecting 2 entries. Stephen Curry for more than 25 points, and then I got Anthony Davis for more than 2 blocks, and Damian Lillard for more than 4 3-pointers made. PrizePicks is also the only daily sports platform with an injury insurance policy. So for example, if you have a player who gets injured in the first half and doesn't return to the second half, that player gets automatically rebooted. What I also love about PrizePicks is that it offers weekly promotions like Taco Tuesdays. Each Tuesday, PrizePicks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value. So go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit matchup up to $100. That's go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do is want to play what Mike Greenberg and the crew had to say about this, and then we're going to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to what they had to say there.
I'm going to say something in duck because I know that it is controversial, and I know that it flies in the face of absolutely everything that the spirit of competition was born to create. And you just said, Herman Edwards, you play to win the game. The Lakers should not play tomorrow night. They should not play LeBron. They should not play AD. They do not want to be the 7 seed. You want to be the 8. I'm taking my chances in a one and done at home against either Sacramento or Golden State and go in against the very young OKC Thunder in round 1 instead of going into the buzzsaw that is Denver. I think it is worth the risk.
Everything you said is right, except for one thing. You put yourself into a one-off situation. Okay, where you lose one game and you're going home for the summer if you lose that second night, right? This is different with the Knicks. You're talking about win or lose determines your seeding.
Right.
You still have a best of 7 series you're about to go play, right? And the better team will win that series. This is different. Like, you lose that game intentionally, you put yourself into a situation where you're playing the winner of the 9-10 and anything could happen. Somebody gets hurt. Somebody gets in foul trouble. D'Angelo Russell goes 1 for 14. Like, there's so many things could happen in one game.
Yes.
And you find yourself going home for the summer.
I
think that's a little bit more precarious.
I recognize the risk, but I think life is about assessing risk, reward. Is it worth that risk to avoid playing Denver in round 1 or 2? There's no one who can, look, the Nuggets are the one team the Lakers have no chance to beat. Realistically, no chance to beat. And you know who knows that? LeBron James knows that. They got swept by the Nuggets last year. That is a matchup they are hoping someone else knocks off Denver along the way. To me, Alan, I understand the risk. And if you wind up losing at home Friday night to Sacramento or Golden State, you wind up looking terrible. But I think it is a risk worth taking.
Our good friend Monica McNutt always does retweet, because that's exactly how I felt the minute I saw the way things set up. And you point out that they got swept last year in the Western Conference Finals by them. They don't match up well with them. They haven't beat them in 9 games. This goes back to last season. They just cannot beat this team. So you have to look at it in a way, like you're saying, you take a risk on a game. Well, okay, so you win one game to lose the next 4. Or you lose a game to win a game. And if your season ends there, it was going to end anyway. You need the better matchup in this case. And if you think about it from a franchise perspective, the Lakers have a better chance to actually advance in the playoffs by avoiding the Denver Nuggets, because then you don't have to see them till later. So for me, you look at the Thunder, and you don't want to disrespect them, but you gave a stat that was incredible, and that is their age.
Yeah.
The fact that they are the youngest, number 1 seed. They have no playoff experience whatsoever, and now they have the weight of expectations as a number 1 seed. That game 1 at home, when LeBron comes in with AD, that's going to have a ton of pressure on it. That's the best case situation.
Have we won you over?
So you heard what he had to say. Listen, he makes a good point. There's risk all over the place. If we're being honest. Because there's a risk of, well, if you throw a game, then you find yourself in you must-win situation to stay in the playoffs. And what if you lose and you go home? And then there's also the other risk of, well, if you win this game, you secured your spot, but now you're at risk of being beaten by a team that has beat you 9 consecutive times in round 1, which would be a disaster. But both scenarios would be a disaster. If the Lakers have missed the playoffs, it would be a disaster. If they got beat again by the Denver Nuggets and don't advance, it'd be another disaster. But there's another aspect to all of this, which is, are we really meant to expect this much from an 8th seed? Because at this particular point, I don't even know what to feel about the Lakers in terms of, are they good or not? Because their record says that they're their 8th seed. But if you listen to what people say, what the LeBron has done historically and all of these guys, they will have you thinking that no, this is a top 4 seed in the West. I don't know. Those other teams have had the better record. The Wolves, the Thunder, the Nuggets, and the Clippers. But the Lakers have had a successful season against those teams with their individual matchups. If I'm the Lakers, I would try to avoid Denver, man. They're just the one team you just don't want to face this early. If it was the Clippers, I'd be like, damn, you want to face Denver right now? Because Nikola Jokic, man, you're going to be going up against the best player in that series by far. They're one of the best teams at closing games by far. So to me, man, if I'm the Lakers, I look to avoid it, right? And take my chances with OKC. I would just rather take my chances with OKC and roll the dice there, because what we do know for sure is that as of now, the Lakers look like a team that cannot beat the Nuggets. They cannot. Like, they've lost 9 straight to them. So all the evidence, I mean, at least you can go against the Thunder and say, well, we won the season series against them, so we have some hope. I think the Lakers did. And, you know, you're going to be playing off of their youth. So I think their chances of advancing is better. And let the Nuggets go face somebody else. I think they would end up facing the Pelicans in that particular scenario. Then going up against the Denver Nuggets this early, but some people want it. You know, some people are saying, no, this is something that should happen now. Take your chances and strike while iron is hot, and maybe you try to catch them off guard. I don't know. I guess we shall wait and see. We shall see what happens. The question is, what do you think about Mike Greenberg's proposition? Do you agree with it or disagree? Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comments, and we catch you on the next show. Peace.